Now, listen, this is almost 6-7 months now since you had your big win at ATC 2022. You stole the show with both the Audience Choice Innovation Lab win and the Hayes Choice win as well.
Yeah, it was incredible. I didn't think I'd win one award, let alone two. So it was an incredible experience.
It was just a runaway freight train. The minute you got up there and started talking, I could just see the audience really connecting with you and the deck. And it certainly showed in the results as well. When we looked at how people voted, it was equity by a long shot, put it that way. But you're right, it is hard to know in the lead up, isn't it, how these things are going to play out and go. And I think you pitched on that day up against 6 other new talent products as well. So you did really well. Now, let's talk about your win. For the ATC win, you got obviously the list of the talent community who voted for you. So you had this really nice, strong list of people to follow up with. And then we also gave you some digital marketing as well. So that kind of went out to a bigger, broader community of over 5,000 people. So how have you found that, pitching to an audience of 500 people and being able to connect with the voters and get the word out there? How has that helped you since?
Yeah, it's been such a ride. The really funny thing for me was Equidi had only just launched like 2 weeks before. So I had been, working in a little office behind closed doors for pretty much the best part of a year. And I hadn't seen many people. I was just really focused on building the product and getting it out there. And then kind of overnight, because I think the ATC was 2 weeks after, and we talked about pitching, and I thought to myself, oh, this is fantastic. There'll probably be, 20 people turn up. There'll be a little circle, and we were real comfortable waiting for me to get out there. And
you were on a giant stage at Luna Park under the big top.
Yeah, and I'll never forget walking in when we did the run through the night before, and I'm like, okay, this is big. This is a big deal.
This is
and then
the
I
stage
thought, right,
that rock stars get up and perform on, and
it was
talent now.
It was, and it just was such a surreal experience because I'd come from not being front facing at all, no one even knew the product existed or the company existed, and getting the opportunity in front of such a large crowd. I loved the way at the ATC it was prime and center, so the whole conference kind of came in. It was a real great event to be at. And for me, it was a really amazing experience and opportunity to get the word out there on what we were doing. And it was so different. I think when I was considering doing it, I was wondering if it was the right thing for us, because obviously talent is front and center, and how a product helping companies with gender equity and closing gender pay gaps and increasing representation of women, but how that connected through to talent. And I just said to myself, look, I'll give it a go. I'll get experience from this. I need to learn how to do. Yeah, absolutely. I need to kind of learn how to do this and talk to crowds, etc. And I was just blown away by the interest and, as you said, the response from the crowd, really getting behind a product to help us move forward with gender equity.
Oh, look, I was so pleased. You were a very late entrant, but I think your deck was amazing. So I don't know how long you prepared for the actual pitch, but you had a very clear and compelling story to tell. And then it was just that you had your 7 minutes, but I think you kind of used it wisely in terms of, okay, here's what I'm going to say, and then we're going to open up to questions, because that really gave the audience time to drill down on, well, what does that interface look like, and how does it connect, and how do I actually put my hands on it and use it on a day-to-day basis? Because of course the audience are thinking immediately, how does this work in my own particular context, in my own organization? So that sort of gave them a chance to kind of, how would I connect with this, and really, put those dots together. But then Hayes, their RPO, were the sponsor of that award, and they have their Hayes Choice Award. So they're looking at this through a different lens. They're looking at this about, is this a technology that we can introduce to all of our, on-site recruitment teams? Now, we don't confer. They don't know how the audience are voting. And it's, you know, they just write it on a piece of paper, walk it up onto stage, and it just turned out that you actually had won their prize as well. And so obviously with us, you get your list of everyone that voted for you. You get an amazing opportunity to, you know, not have to pick up the phone and try and make meetings, but pitch your product to 500 buyers in one go, and the digital marketing. But tell us about the kind of stuff you've been doing with Hayes since.
Yeah, it's been fabulous. So we've done a few things. We had initially a call with basically all their recruitment team across Australia. And I did a demo for them and showed them the ins and outs of the product and how it actually works and how to apply it in a business context. So that was fabulous. They gave me lots of great feedback. They had thought of how they could sell this in as an add-on service to some of their existing clients, because they said that this is a product that basically everyone needs. So how do we try and get it out there for you? So that was a great opportunity. After that, we've done some morning teas, which have been fabulous. So Hayes have got their RPO clients in, and I've done a bit of a talk to them on, you know, why the business exists and how we've been going and how it might help them in their business. And that's been really lovely, because they've positioned it as an equity breakfast. So I'm not just the guest going to it, but it's an equity breakfast. So we've done Sydney so far, and we're doing Melbourne in a couple of weeks' time, I think. But that's been really lovely to see, and they're a great team to work with. They've been really helpful, and we have some broader plans down the track with how we can partner on some product enhancements and developments, which is really exciting. So watch this space.
Isn't that great that so many months later, you know, that partnership, it's not just on the day and then that, you know, that's it. It's everyone's still in contact. And I know you were telling me you've signed Envato, which was one of the organizations that were there in the room on the day, and you've signed a deal with them. But they've also been super generous and helpful in terms of leads and referrals to other organizations as well, haven't they?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Because we were just launched, basically, we were absolutely the new kid on the block. We hadn't started taking revenue or anything prior to the ATC. And like I said, it all happened really quick. So we actually signed several customers from the ATC. Our first one was Roller, which is a digital ticketing and amusement park theme software. And they've been awesome too. And Envato were not long behind them. So it was really awesome to see it come to life, and also just to create that awareness with our product. It's quite new, it's quite cutting edge. So it's been a challenge for us to create awareness in the market and that education piece. But from being able to speak at that event and able to hit, you know, 500 different people, and then all the calls and follow-ups and conversions that have come after have been really amazing.
Yeah, I think there's this real, you know, past winners and past entrants have said the same kind of thing. Like all of a sudden there's just this spark of activity, and, you know, getting across that many people. I mean, how long would it take you to make all those calls, make the connections, knock on the door, go in cold? And I think, you know, the pitch, we try and keep it as such a, like this really fun, energetic, you know, fast-paced kind of segment. And you wouldn't think that, you know, hearing companies pitch a tech demo would be, you know, one of the number one loved sessions at the event, but people love it. They love the Innovation Lab session. They love the energy of it, and really truly do like to hear about new things hitting the market. So look, from your perspective, that was the first pitch you ever kind of made. You know, what learnings have you had? How have you, because obviously you've gone on to pitch in a lot of other places, and being able to say that you're a finalist, being able to say that you're a winner, I'm sure has opened some other doors for you for some other competitions. How has that helped, and how have you adapted the pitch since?
Yeah, there's been a number of different things that were just so unexpected coming out of it. So I even had people come and just want to meet me and chat to me about the product because they've heard via the network effect of being at the ATC that I won and just wanted to learn more about it and talk about, you know, equity as a business, etc. So that was really exciting. The key learnings, I was so nervous. I think some people said, oh, I didn't notice you, but I was like so nervous. So it was really great. Even the camaraderie between the other competitors on the day, everyone had everyone's back. Everyone knew we were all, some were a bit further along in their journey as a startup, but it was great to meet the network of people there, and I've kept in touch with nearly all of them, which has been phenomenal. So even though you're competing against them, I've made, I think, lifelong friends from that, and from being in the startup section. So yeah, which is really nice because it's a great way to approach it because we're all in it together, and it's not about just winning on the day. It's about going through the process, having an opportunity to chat to so many people. And I know on the day after we did the pitch, that afternoon and the next day, there were just so many people coming by our stand in the startup area, and just trying to do like as many demos and get as many people in as we could. But it was great to learn how to be succinct and communicate your message really clearly was really important, because those 7 minutes are gold, and it might sound like a long time when it's just you on that big stage kind of talking at people, but it goes really quick and you've got to hit the key message really, really sharply. And then with the others, getting that support network around you, learning how to manage the nerves. But it's also a very friendly space. And I have done many other pitches since, but this one will always be super close to my heart because it was the first one I did. And it just went so far. Like I'm still getting people contact.
2 awards as well.
The
outcome helps.
The outcome helps, but yeah, it's gone a long way. And I still, like you said, Envato and others regularly refer me people because they're now using the product. And if I hadn't have gone and done that, I don't know, I don't think we would have been as far along as we are now.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. It is such a good and giving talent community. And great to have been able to put you at the center of it. And, you're absolutely right. The other people pitching are on different levels of their journey, and some have already successfully secured investor funding. And I know that, they're all really open to kind of helping new startups to kind of understand, here's my tips, here's my connections, here's my journey. And being there to support each other. And that's definitely one of the aims that we have, is to, truly shine a light on, but bring people into this wonderful and giving community. And I'm so pleased that you've done so well from it. And, hope to see you back at ATC 2023 in November. And
yep, absolutely.
Thank you so much for chatting with us today, Nat. Really appreciate it. It's great to catch up.
Yeah, great to see you again, Jo. Thanks for having me. And for anyone thinking about it, don't even question it, just do it.
Lovely. All right. Thanks, Nat. Bye for now.